Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is a weapon that a lot of us have been waiting for since the very beginning of the game. We heard about it, we saw it at E3, then we realized that the weapon would not be arriving in the game till the Cataclysm update. The weapons are here and I finally got my hands on this weapon after the 4th purchase at a Cataclysm vendor. That is some weird and crazy but quite easy RNG right there. This is the JARRA'S Wrath. In the flesh, of course. Now this weapon is a Volt Cluster class of weapon, which means it deals electric damage, and it also has the ability to chain damage, maybe not as much as its other counterparts, but it is still fair. It is also a primer, 7,132 damage, 120 RPM continuous fire, 15 ammo, and 15 range, which is something that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. This roll right here has 225 extra weapon damage, which in turn pushes us to around 16,000 base damage. Now, the unique effect of this weapon is that it fires an AoE form and chains electricity damage to targets. It also has a little bit of a tracking so that as long as you have the enemy within a 90-degree radius in front of you, you can get them regardless of what you do. Now, in terms of effectiveness, this weapon melts low to mid-range targets. It does well against bosses or apex enemies, but not as high as some of the weapons that came in the update as well. You might still have to rely on some of your older weapons or some of the less impressive weapons in this update when it comes to bosses, which is something that you would expect. But other than that, a single shot from this rifle will completely remove shields from any level of enemies, from easy to Grandmaster 1 all the way to Grandmaster 3, and that is one thing that makes this weapon really special because the damage and the potential scales with every single level of the game. Also, because of the AoE effect on this weapon, ammo is not an issue unlike some of the other weapons that I reviewed earlier, and this is also because you can hit a large group of enemies in a single wipe, which means ammo will drop for you easily. Now, I will however suggest that you use this weapon the way you would use a shotgun because the range is very short or very small, which also brings us to the final part of this review. One thing that I would have loved on this weapon is a little bit more range. Maybe put the range to around 20 to 25 instead of 15. But other than that though, other than that range issue, this is an incredible weapon and I will say it is worth it. I know a lot of us have been waiting for this weapon forever and finally it is here and it is worth all that wait. It is a top contender for the best weapon in the update so far. However, I will still have to test every single weapon out to see if it is going to hold that #1 spot for a long time till the update is over. We still have about 3 more weeks of Cataclysm, which means whatever you don't get now, you can still get it later on. Now, I will suggest pairing this weapon up with components that benefit the weapon, a Volt Caster Sigil, and also some Electric Sigil as well. Maybe on a Storm Javelin as well, if you guys know what I mean, because it will synergize well. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you find this informative. Hope you enjoyed as well. As always, it's DA signing out. I'll see you in the next one.